Hello, 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 hello. Testing. I need to fix this overlay. Holy shit. Hello, hello, hello. Alright, guys. Good evening and welcome to the Wednesday stream. Today we're going to be continuing with Tales of Iris after we left off yesterday, trying to get into the toxic area, which I feel like we're probably closing into the very end of the game, but who knows? You know, because I don't. Anywho, I have the show doing well. How's my chart? Not a 6. Okay. So, Mole Dude said that he'll wait for us. Ah, there we go. We did get a new weapon from... They said that they cleaned the place. Oh, sorry. I have the right armor. So... They said that they cleaned the place, that there's no more, like, you know, crypt crawlers or something like that. I'm gonna need to change my armor into anti-froggy. This one? Or is there other armor that I can use? I guess this is fine. Was this even the armor that I was using before? I need to replace my shield too. I changed to medium. That's not what I was hoping for. Wait, can it change? Okay, I can't. So with that, I think I can change armors. Never mind. It offers higher defense, but it doesn't offer, It offers higher defense, but it doesn't offer much, froggy resist. Wait, should we change though? Might have to. It's not listed here. Is it in medium? It's not listed here either, so we're okay. I guess that mask is highly intended for, you know, if you prefer. I'm happy with the sword. The sword is really fast, or the katana. Because the axe has a really, really slow combo, but it hits really hard too. It's just really funny that it doesn't seem to have like the same effect as the, you know, as when you got it. Like when it's being used against you, it seems to be really powerful. Nothing good. Oh, okay. So they turn into like these now. So every enemy that you kill here becomes that? Is that how it goes? I hope that he's okay. But, like... Okay. I wonder how many hours it took. Good morning, good evening, Gaming Cypher. Welcome to the stream.
Reggie would have been impressed. They were not on the backs of frog scum.
I'm glad you're also doing well. Huh? Let me heal. Okay, you can still get ammo from their bodies, which is great. Focus me. Okay. So you can get ammunition from the arrow barrel? Question mark. Okay, this two-handed sword is actually pretty good. Saving here. Where are we? Okay. Rat King! KT, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Let there be
Too late.
cheese. I should have made that.
Reggie
Oh
saw
shit.
from the docks his brother's silhouette on a ship, surrounded by tribal frog soldiers. No sign of their foul leader.
Oh, what the fuck?
He had to get to his brother.
He's calling for backup. What an ass. And not the sexy ass. Ouch. I need to get rid of them because they fly around like idiots. Ow! Can I just walk from that too? Because, like, I mean, it asked me to block. Come on, what a cheese. Very cheesy boy. Too much cheese. I could have blocked that. He's calling for backup again. Die! I like your stats at the bottom of the screen. I appreciate it. I hope that it's readable. I still need to fix the lower blank part over there. So maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I'm getting lazy for the meantime. I was talking to Dingo, I think last Monday, about like how I was taking 21,000 caps to repair my gear in New Vegas. And he said like that can't be right. I think you're doing something wrong. He said, and I said like it's true. And I said to myself like, you know, I think it would be really cool if I could try again. But this time I'm gonna try and play hardcore mode, and the results were pretty hilarious. So initially, huh? I hate that you can't kill him while he's doing that. But what a cheese. What a cheesy boy.
Reggie had little trust in shamans. There was more mystery in this world than his father had taught him.
Shaman
The shaman
key.
had gone,
Wait, what?
but he'd left a key.
You say demon? This one does not offer a lot. Oh, there we go. There was a cheesy part, fight, in a way. Because one, Oogway?
None had seen a turtle in many seasons. His father claimed he found one here as a boy. But it didn't look old. Reggie was almost 2 after all. Could a turtle reach such an old age?
Wait, this thing has been happening like across like a week only. He's looking for a paddle. So back to my story. As I was saying, I tried out the hardcore mode. It was really hilarious in a variety of ways, but certainly most difficult. It's like basically just forced me to run around and find more food,
Grateful
find
to
places
be
to sleep.
free, and promising entertaining tales of Reggie's father as a pup, the turtle offered to take them across the river to the foul Froglands.
Froglands? There's Froglands? There's probably more, but I'm gonna head back and heal because I don't know, it's bad. So yeah, I started replaying for now to just see like a bit of changes, and I wanted to commit to the stats that I like wanted to build, and it's been going well. And I also decided to start like adding a couple of mods in between, like graphical overhauls, improving meshes and textures and stuff like that. Basically, improving you know, higher texture qualities. I think I might remove some of them because they feel like they're trying to like slow down the game, but not to the point where it's unplayable. I feel like it's just causing the game to just like stutter a bit. Although, you know, overall for me, like it's just basically to kind of try out on a focused build and see how it'll go. So there is gonna be Froglands. The game is not over yet, peeps. Froggy Lands.
The turtle bid the pair farewell. Reggie asked his friend to stay by the river. This was not his fight. But Jay never abandoned a comrade in need. They were as brothers now, he said.
Did they save? There was brothers now. Thank you, Mola Rat or Jay. Why did they say Mola Rat? You can't go in. Okay. You can still head back. And I think there's still a couple of cycles that I haven't completed yet. Is this it? The final rat battle?
Reggie had expected something as foul as frog spawn. But the Froglands were strangely like home. Apart from the smell.
Okay. There's material cap here as well, which is I feel like shouldn't be like that. Also, the frog area seems to be covered in toxin, so they're not allowed to be here.
The same pipes that were in Station 24/7 were visible here. This was how the frogs were invading. Jay was furious the engineering that kept moles safe was being used to hurt others.
Hey, boogie boogie bam bam. Let's go party party boom boom. Okay. Okay. One loot for one button press for all. Again? I wish that in Tales of Iron 2 that if you parry successfully that you'll be able to deflect the attack or like send it back. But that would be weird for arrows, right? 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 No, I want to pick that up. Heal first, grab this. No arrows available, but that's okay. Bless you, thank you, KT, I appreciate it. Ow! They're just stomping recklessly, I hate it. Ouch. Can't die here. Beach. Ouch. Thank you. Good shot, Reggie. I mean, Jay. I'm Reggie. He's Jay. Please let me save. I guess they also drink bug juice. Already at max. Ugh. Ah.
Caged, like a common grub. Reggie dreaded to think why the war chief would keep so many captives.
chop, chop, chop. There you go, you little bastards. Die. The explosion sounds like the Poké Dance from the Pokemon Concierge. Up, 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 hey, boogie, boogie. Oh, there's no healing here? Okay. I mean, that's fine, I guess. Why can't we get ammo? Jesus. Okay. Also, why are their eyes like that? Ouch. Also, both of those attacks actually registered. Why can't we make it on the other side? Wait, what? That is crazy! There you go. I latched on the first time and then it let go for some reason. No!
This was why the rats had been
Oh
captured.
no.
The war chief had offered them up for the shaman's twisted experiments.
We have to kill them?
The war chief would answer for many crimes this day.
Oh. They're pretty weak though, but that's not good. What a twist. The war chief is actually trying to mind control these poor vermins. Okay. Looks like we have everything ready. So we'll keep going.
The shaman had tried to hide in his workshop. The things he'd made and used on Reggie's kin were here. There was nowhere he could hide.
Jay, can you help me? Like, get rid of the rats behind me. You're the other comrades. I don't understand that. Like, what kind of combo is that? Morning, Dodger. Welcome to the stream. Huh? Wow. You think you can just kill me like that, you little shit?
The shaman's cruel experiments were over in a puff of foul green smoke. The war chief's throne room could not be far. He was the one who started this. So it was with a sword in his skull that it must end.
Okay, so that means in under 30 minutes we're gonna finish this game? He's not giving me ammo here. What do we do?
What was this evil twist on Molecraft? A grotesque monster of creaking gears
It's a robot.
and steam. The
It's
sight
Iron
made Reggie
Man?
freeze. But Jay's fury could not be held back. The
No,
sound of
I
his
got
small
killed.
friend's body falling lifted the spell. Reggie didn't know what this thing was, only that it would die screaming.
Ah, okay. Wow, this guy is like basically one-hitting me. Okay. Listen, you got a free shot. He got a free shot because I didn't know that it was a cutscene or whatever. So this is... Careful! I'll do my best. Ah! Okay. Okay. What a combo, ladies and gentlemen! Okay. I guess they just made this game as a hilarious joke to say, like, hey, what if we call this game Rat and then just make some of the bosses cheese you? Ironic. Yes, I know, Reggie. Thank you, I appreciate it. Oh. There we go. So that was, I don't know who that was. Maybe a semi-final boss for the area. I'm not sure. So that was Reggie? Or was Reggie set free? Oh my god, there's also one here. It's so inconsistent. The save points does not have a complete setup. It doesn't have the poison refill. It doesn't have sometimes like one of them is always missing. Hello.
Even
What are
in
you?
the frog slime and its stench of death, it felt good to be fighting with his brother at his side.
Where's Jay? Is Jay dead? Ouch. Okay.
No, Reggie wouldn't believe it. Everything the evil frogs had taken from him, his father, his friend, his kingdom. They wouldn't take his brother, and they wouldn't take him.
You go get him, Gerald. Gerald, get him. Gerald. He took everything. Gerald is mad. This isn't Reggie, it's Gerald. He couldn't believe his eyes. When 10,000 fireflies. Ah, this run is ruined. Is it 10,000 or 10 million? I don't know.
No, Reggie wouldn't believe it. Everything the evil frogs had taken from him, his father, his friend, his kingdom. They wouldn't take his brother, and they wouldn't take him.
Hey, okay. I tried to dodge those, but okay. It ends here! Here, I tell you! That's one powerful tongue. Why, yes, indeed. Oh god, Jesus Christ.
The war chief was dead, and the kingdom saved. But what did it matter if his brother was gone?
He's alive! GG's, thank you, KT. His trident. He's like, let's go home. Fuck this place.
The rat folk rejoiced to have their king home. They had prepared for Reggie's coronation in the throne room. They had been sure he would return to them. To Reggie, it was a bittersweet victory. He had proved himself, but it came at a cost higher than gold.
Whee! I'm still damaged, by the way, guys, and I haven't saved. How about throwing a bone for your king? I need to save. It would have been nice if they called his fort, you know, it's called Cheddar Fort. Alright. This crown, I did not equip it, but apparently... Wait, there's still more stuff to do? You are hereby crowned for real this time. Okay. Nice. Nice. I can only equip those?
It was the start of a true golden age.
Those are heavy.
Free of the scourge of frog spawn. Working with the mole folk below, they built a new kingdom of steam and industry and wonder. But that is, as they say, a tale for another time.
We completed the game! Let's go! GG's! There's no... Well, there is music, but I hope that you can hear that. That was pretty cool! Again, shoutouts to my awesome Nuna KT for gifting the game. It's pretty fantastic. I would like to review this game, and then we can play... I think we can play New Vegas, or... I don't know, I'm in conflict, Diablo or New Vegas. Initially, you know, it's actually a Souls-like game. It's, well, as Dodger put it, like, it's not Souls-like unless you have stamina and you lose stuff. So I wouldn't call it like that, but the difficulty setting feels like a Souls-like game. And, yeah. Let's start with the cons first before we go on to the pros. So basically, everything in this game is like, you know, totally fantastic. There's just like a couple of things that I feel like would have been really great if Doug Cockle, let's go. If they were like pretty much polished, hopefully in Tales of Iron 2, or you know, in their further ventures of the game. I like it. Primarily, some of the combat has like a pretty odd, like, you know, type of like combat system. It's really hard to distinguish. Maybe I'm just getting old or something like that, but it's really hard to distinguish when it is like capable of like dodging or like blocking. I mean, not blocking. I think it's pretty clear to block, but dodging or blocking is there. There's an indicator there, but basically the pacing of combat and difficulty kind of like goes up and down from time to time.
The greatest threat was conquered. But Reggie wondered if there were any tasks he'd left unfinished, or foes left undefeated. Now was the time to be sure.
Okay. So initially, I wanted to point out that like there is like two types of or like two ways of combat, like basically ranged and of course like melee. And there's a variety of gear that you can grab, but it is pretty difficult to determine, like, even if you're like rolling away twice. Because there's like three ways for you to avoid the enemy. One is rolling and then double rolling. That's number 2. And then 3 is blocking. They have their own indicators. The block, basically, or parry as they call it. Technically there's 4, but I'll just say that block isn't really like a most commonly used thing. Maybe that's why I feel. But the blocking mechanics is pretty easy to understand. If there's no indicator and then they attack, then yeah, that's like one way to go. But you can parry if they have the yellow indicator, so that's like the easiest thing you can do. It's the most forgiving thing, right next to rolling once. Now, the rolling once is basically an indicative of it's coming from the like red highlights with strikes of like, you know, red across the enemy's character model, and that's where you can dodge on like either side. But there's also a problem within that. And then the other one is when a circle appears on their head, that probably means that you need to press dodge or roll twice over, which also has a problem. First, the single roll, I think either you really need to know that the enemy has already or is initiating that attack before you basically just, you know, commit to the action. Because oftentimes, if you see the indicator active, that means the attack is already about to happen. Like literally 0.1 seconds about to occur. And by the time you hit the roll, even if you go to the animation of the roll, there's a huge chance that it wouldn't like connect, or it wouldn't connect, or it wouldn't, you know, give you the iframes you deserve or like needed. And then the other one is when the circle appears, the double roll. Sometimes, even if you're far away, or even if you initiate the roll, like you're above or like close, most roll attacks, or like, you know, most double roll attacks that occur are pretty much an AoE effect. The problem with that is like you might like Wuthering Waves because it's all about dodging, parrying. Ooh, have you been trying it out? The problem with that, I'd say, the problem. Let me go to this one. The problem with that is like basically, how do you call this? The models. I really can't tell if there's a flaw. Or maybe there's a 10% chance, let's say 30% on 10, that is just me, but I suck. Wait, have you tried it, or you don't enjoy it? But basically, like, I can't connect the model and the action correctly. I tried so many times. There's only like 5 times at max where I could do it properly in a way. If I can basically tell what it is I'm trying to dodge, because sometimes it's a projectile, or like sometimes it's like earlier with the robotic Reggie, it was a hammer, like it was the flail, basically the iron ball at the very end. It was the one that was like being signaled as like this is gonna be a double roll, but then what the hell, which one? So it becomes a direct attack, and you need to roll away from the attack or towards the attack. But I can't really see when and where, because I can't tell if how like big the hitbox is. Hitbox. I've tried it. How did it go? I've seen some game. I'm just waiting for them to fix the initial release. But yeah, what was I trying to say? Initially, like, I failed to see, or basically try 90% of the time to get iframes or a double roll. It doesn't work, even if it's trying to hitbox. If it's trying to like roll you in, or basically like hit you on the sides or something like that, like AoE attacks in between doesn't really like give me proper iframes, or basically I'm like doing it out of timing. So the indicator, the roll indicator, the circle one, basically remains active for a long while. Like all of the process happens within a blink of an eye, and if you miss a slight timing, because I'm saying that there is a Souls-like mechanic in here is because your character model actually factors into the equation of like when and where it was initiated. I'm not a developer, by the way. When and where it was initiated, instead of like getting hit boxgasm, you just get hit. It's pretty painful. So compared it to Bloodborne, like and Genshin Impact, or like as Wuthering Waves, as KTS mentioned, I feel like, you know, it doesn't offer you a big, you know, opportunity to like basically avoid that. I think the cleanest way to do it is like either you do it as early as possible before they can actually initiate the attack, or you basically roll away from where the attack is coming from. Now that's not really easy because I'm playing on a 24 something 2560 by 1440p. This is the largest screen for me so far. This is basically I don't know, 2K resolution, and the area you're fighting on, the platforms, or you know, the arena that you're gonna be fighting on is pretty small, and if you are not in the center, there's not really room for you to like run away or like, you know, be able to escape that kind of damage. And oftentimes the AoE attacks from double rolls are the most big hitters all of the time, and it's pretty depressing, I'd say. So that's like one of the issues that I've found so far. It makes it like complicated for you to understand. Maybe a lot of people have done better than I did. Maybe it's just like I can't really time things, or I can understand how the role works. Even the tutorial told me that, but even so, they let me pass. They said like, okay, you know what, you're gonna, you know, you'll figure it out. So just go ahead. Second issue I'd say is that there's a bit of backtracking required, which can, I wouldn't say that it's like a bad thing initially, but it does like kind of like force you to like, you know, go back and do quest lines for a little bit and then gather requirements and equipments, and then like, you know, it's kind of, I won't say that it's like that bad, but you know, in order for you to just basically progress or unlock one part of the quest line, you'll have to back and forth, I think 2 to 3 times, which is pretty odd. And it's not really like that in like Metroidvania games where you'd have to backtrack like 3 to 4 times. You backtrack to a major area if it's a connecting area, like, you know, City of Tears in Hollow Knight, or you know, the main castle area in, or like Clock Tower in Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which basically, you know, is most technically a intersection of areas, since this is a 2D platformer, or like, you know, it's a flat gameplay where you don't really have a 3-dimensional access. It's just up, down, left, right, or diagonal directions where you can go through. But you having to go back and forth literally just to finish quest lines, you know, is pretty annoying, but not to the like, you know, not gonna be a problematic thing. Just so you can unlock or progress the storyline. Like, I've been to the Hunter's Lodge like 3 to 4 times, and I've been to the, you know, Metro Station 24/7 I think twice or thrice already, and then I've been to the tower like twice. Like they sent me back to the tower twice in a row just to fetch some item requirements and stuff. It did prolong the gameplay, but you know, it was the same area at the same time. They could have like given me more, but I understand where they're coming from. Another one is that there are material caps, which is pretty odd. There is no like item cap in your inventory. Like, you can basically like store your stuff in your, you know, item box, but you can only have 99 metals or ingots and then 99 insect parts, and that basically like goes nowhere. You can buy all of the blueprints you like. You can buy everything. I think like you can also repeat the quest lines and stuff, like, or side quests and stuff. But unfortunately, it doesn't really let you go any further than that. Like, you can't really upgrade your gear. You can't really upgrade your pouches. You can't upgrade, you know, anything else that would like put your money into. There are ways for you to just like pick a weapon, pick a gear, stick with that, and then go on, because the stats are kind of like low-key there. upgrades for your healing flask would have been really great too. Upgrades for, or like, you know, cycling of weapons, or like collecting materials to buy and sell. I think an economy could have existed there, so that you can just like benefit with your item trades. But I think like they kept it minimal. But the cap kind of like made it strange for me that it didn't really go anywhere. I'm actually sitting on, oh, I can't really see. I'm actually sitting on, I can't see from here. I don't, oh, yeah. Oh, I can see from here. I'm sitting on almost 99. There is also coin, but they're not really that useful. Like, you use coin for upgrades and like story progression, but it's not entirely something that, like, you know, there are a couple of side quests there as well, but they're not really meant to buy, which is great. I'm not gonna lie. However, it doesn't really, like, you know, it should have given you more than that, but I think that's just me. Last but not the least, I guess, like, I wish that they could have like put up a, well, I'm sorry, but last but not the least, that's basically my personal complaint, but I think, yeah, I think like there's nothing else. I think that's all of it. Basically, those are my only complaints for the game. Those are the only things I feel like were just like bad things. The role, the economy, and then the slight backtracking to the same place, to actual same place. It kind of gets daunting from those, but all throughout, there's a lot of positive things. First and foremost, the art style and graphics is pretty cute and adorable. I really like the character designs here. I like the lore, the storyline, the gameplay. You know, it feels like, I said that last time, I think yesterday. It feels like Star Wars, like I mentioned. Like he was trying to like get revenge in some kind of way. Oh, was it Star Wars? I like the storyline. It's pretty simple to understand. Dogcockle's narration is pretty good. And I couldn't stop imagining him basically just being Reggie entirely, you know? And he's not really that far from Geralt anyway. It's pretty great. The music is great. Sound is great. Level design is pretty fantastic. And I like that there is animation behind the, you know, the background. Oh yeah, another thing. There is foreground kind of blocking, but they were just like in a couple of areas, like literally like 2 to 3 areas. They didn't really like become a hindrance 99% of the time. They're basically like scenic blockage. But in some cases, yeah, I'd say that like the ambience, the art style, they were pretty great. The gameplay overall, like the combat is like I mentioned, those are the only issues, but they're pretty satisfying. Like all of the hits that you're applying to the enemy, whether it be like two-handed weapons, one-handed weapons, and like range, they pretty much like you feel like you're actually hitting the target. And the animations, executions as well are pretty good. There's a bit of gore there, but I'd say, like, you know, I don't know if this is rated R18. I don't, there's no sex scenes here, so I don't think it's rated M for mature. But I'm pretty sure that this is rated T14 because there is gore and there is blood, not the green blood, the red blood. And the execution, chopping of heads, even if it's an insect, like it's pretty much there. What else? I'd say that there's a variety of weapons, there's a variety of armor, gear that you can find. You can dress up, you can basically, like, you know, do fashion shows with Reggie here, which is, you know, gonna come up on top, which is pretty nice if you ever wanted to do that. The weapon types actually varies. You know, there's fast hitting weapons, long range weapons, short range weapons, slow charge weapons. Those weapon animations doesn't really hamper me in any way possible. There are some that I would prefer faster hitting ones than, like, you know, the hammer, which offered more charges, charge attack, but it did offer a, you know, a variety of you know, damage output regardless, like the combo being slow like that. And the weapon range also as well is pretty good, like regardless if you are using a gun or if you're using a bow and arrow, all of them works great. Like I don't really feel like it's there. In the combat, there are, like I mentioned, indicators to make sure that you can see what the enemy is gonna try to telegraph, but sometimes they can be overwhelming. Even though it can be like that, there are save points and checkpoints in between, so you don't really have to worry about dying so many times. Like, die as much as you want, you're just gonna stand up like there at the in front of the area. You don't really lose anything except for progress, or you don't really lose unless you want to stop playing the game. It's basically there. You can change up your gear, load up some like pretty fast ones, or like make yourself as tanky as possible with the defense type. There's also skin variations if you don't really feel like the main skin is not working, even for the helmets. The variety of them, like having light to heavy, light medium to heavy, is pretty fantastic as well. It offers a really good stat changes in between that would help you, or if you just prefer the aesthetic, just change into those. Lastly, I like the boss fights. I like the combat entirely. Some of the boss fights may have cheesy attacks, but they're pretty spot on and easy to take out. You also get a assist there, like even if you're not really asking for the assist. Don't worry, they're not gonna do that much, so you're pretty much good to go. They're just gonna shoot off and like fight some of the enemies. They're not gonna really offer, like, they're not gonna take the limelight away from you. NPCs have been known to do that, but if you wanted to like feel the extent of like, hey, I can do this alone, and don't worry, I'm not a casual player like Dodger this, I can do this. So yeah. Oh, I'm not a casual player like me because I'm a casual player when I play Elden Ring, like calling for support. So you can basically rely on them. Actually, no, you can't rely on them, but you can't rely on them for not hitting the targets that much. They're not going to be doing much in between. So whenever they are involved, that probably means that you're going to be fighting a multitude of enemies all throughout the areas, which can probably, deter your progress, but not that much, The area exploration is also pretty neat. They can offer, I was just curious enough to like, find some stuff, and yeah, I found Thor's hammer and Augus's which offer like a spear and other types of weapon by just collecting stuff. I wish that there were more of that, but I'm glad that there's like only a few here, because it could have like extended the gameplay, which would have been great, but I feel like it could have been pretty odd to like have them there in a small space. The area as well, like there's a variety. I also like the mixture of like modern era stuff with mole rats, the enemy types, and of course frogs, the grubs, and the mozzies, or like I'm pretty sure they're the mosquitoes. It's a pretty neat one. So they're really great. The music is also pretty good. I'd say I feel like they wasn't really that memorable for me, but they were there during combat and everything, so that's good enough. I don't really feel like it was something that like should have stuck with, but every time you're like during combat and whatnot, and if you're in the crypt, you feel the music being present there, which is really great. What else can I think of? I think I've said all of the positive ones, but like I mentioned, all of the items you can buy prints. There's no limit to it. They don't really have requirements for what weapon you can equip. The weight system, I really don't know how that works, because I never really went over the weight, but it probably will slow your attacks and whatnot. I didn't really feel like that early when I was playing with like low weight, unless even like unless the animations and your character model movement would have varied already before you hit that like first bar and before the feather turns into red. So I'd say that like it's a pretty good game. I give it a 8 out of 10 for like overall, just like being a great, fantastic, narrative-driven Souls-like game. I'm saying Souls-like because some of the combat will require you to have like precision-ish kind of like inputs so that you can like achieve iframes in a way. Because those kind of things are, if you were playing Wuthering Waves or Genshin Impact, and in a way you're lagging, and you see that your character, did this input before he attacked, and you know that it was correct, but then your ping is too high, so the initiation was delayed, that and then it feels like that. Basically, it's just sometimes when the rolls and the defenses doesn't work, it just feels like you're lagging. That's all I can tell. It just feels like it's lag. Of course this is a single player game, but blame it on the lag. But yeah, again, shout out to Katie for gifting me this game. This is really fantastic. Now I have, I think, 3 more games or 2 more games. I still couldn't progress or start or in the Will of the Wisp. I think that's where my hands will hurt, but I still have Blasphemous 2. So maybe next week we'll have that. So, I'm gonna take a break. What do you guys prefer me to play? I have Diablo 4, and we can play Diablo 4, or we can play, Fallout New Vegas if you like. But, I can go for another, 2 hours, I guess, since 4 hours if the grinding gets interesting for Diablo 4. So, please let me know what you guys prefer. If not, then I'll probably... I really don't know. I'll probably default to New Vegas. Up to me? Okay. I'll think about it, but I'll take a break. So, I'll see you in a bit.